There's really no doubt that Matt Gaetz probably had one of the worst weeks of any politician, at least this week. And I got to tell you, the guy deserves every second of what's happening to him. But what was great about this past week was that every day, another shoe would drop, right? Another piece of the story would come into focus. Another accusation would come out. Another allegation. It just was absolutely phenomenal. So in addition to the DOJ investigation, we also now know that investigation is not just looking at whether or not he had a relationship with a 17-year-old and traveled with her. Nope, he may also have been part, according to the latest reports, they have evidence to suggest that he was a part of some kind of fake ID ring. So there's that. I guess maybe they were making fake IDs for these underage girls too. So that's definitely a good way to get popped for human trafficking. We know that he was showing nude pictures of women that he had slept with to other members of Congress. There was the giant empty box of condoms that they photographed in his trash can outside his office. And of course, the fact that he was hiring prostitutes because they found the digital paper trail because he was using Cash App and Apple Pay. Yeah. You know, that's kind of the thing, though, Matt. Like, you could have avoided a paper trail on that. Totally would have been untraceable. You just got to use cash, right? I mean, what the hell were you thinking? You're too stupid to try to do all of the crimes that you've been accused of. That's what this boiled down to. And I think at this point, like, Matt Gaetz has just done all the crimes. Like, that's where we're at right now. It's easier to just list crimes Matt Gaetz has not been accused of doing. But the reason we're starting to see all of this unfold is because it's part of a pattern of behavior. Now, think back, right? What has Matt Gaetz always been, attacked for? The DUIs that his daddy got him out of, right? It was at that moment, when daddy got him out of that DUI, it was at that moment that Matt Gaetz realized he was bulletproof, right? That nothing mattered to him, that the rules didn't apply to him. And because he wasn't punished for this particular thing, in fact, the police officer that gave him the DUI ended up getting fired for it. So Matt Gaetz looked at that, learned all the wrong lessons, and said, I can do whatever I want. And then as these new investigations and revelations have shown us, it escalated. His behavior escalated. Started doing more and more things, started feeling more and more invincible. You know, showing members of Congress nude photos of women you've slept with. I think that's pretty much crossing a line. I know that may not necessarily be illegal. I think actually in some states it is. But certainly, I face no consequences type behavior. To put it another way, this dude is suffering from the worst case of affluenza we have seen since Donald Trump. Daddy's always been there to get him out of trouble. He's always been able to weasel his way out of it. He's never had to face any consequences for his horrible behavior. And then suddenly, in the span of 5 days, that entire world that he had created with no consequences came crashing down. And again, I can't think of anybody else that deserves it more than Matt Gaetz.